everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. The running game will be a focus today. The Bears have the best rush defense in the league, and they're going against the Panthers, who will try to avoid becoming one-dimensional. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 2nd overall pick in last April's draft from North Carolina, the former Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They go play action with Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Ruff. And got his man complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 25 carries, 139 yards.
Well, he's the #2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to #1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
On the ground, McCaffrey, and able to break break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. McCaffrey following the penalty. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Mike Davis. Number 7 on the...
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They go play action. Trubisky trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Here's Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Now Cam, option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And a gain there of 11 yards. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Newton. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
A reminder later tonight, a game some folks have had circled on their calendars since the schedule came out in April. That's the Super Bowl rematch. Falcons, Charles, at Foxborough to take on the Patriots.
Super Bowl 51.5, anyone?
Then on Monday night, that's no slouch either. An NFC East battle between the Redskins and the Eagles. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And down he'll go at the 25. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They try again with Cohen. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando, where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Newton now to throw. Got his target, Samuel, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Throwing again is Newton. Room here to run. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They run. This is Cohen. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Leopard! Set! Gun!
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. Gonna let one fly for... This is caught inside the 15. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on before halftime. From the right hash, and this one just a chip it. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come upon halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half. See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw is Newton. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Stiff arm number 2. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. This is McCaffrey on the give. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll try the air now with Newton. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon. So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now whistles here. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Got a man, it's right. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second down, Trubisky. And he rifles one incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I like that about Trubisky. Has some calm in the pocket, some good presence, despite the fact only 13 starts in his college career, and an entirely different style of offense when we played that spread stuff while at North Carolina.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose.
That pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second half looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K1 short. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Look, Carolina had a number of issues last year, and that's why they slumped to 6-10 after a Super Bowl appearance. The pass rush wasn't a problem for them. They still got to the quarterback.
47 total sacks. That was just one behind Arizona, who led the league.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for them, young corners, they gave up a lot of big plays.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Here's Trubisky to throw. Now he's forced it, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice game. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This is Cohen. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know in today's NFL...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
He'll field this at the 5. Skirts by him at the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Back to throw. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Flushed out right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. The Panthers on third down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Carolina, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the loss drops them back to 4 and 3 so far. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.
This is the last opportunity to resign your players, or they will become free agents. All combine stats such as the 40-yard dash are now available in scouting. Check it out. Each player now has a combine grade. This combine performance tells you how his speed, Welcome to Draft Week. All the effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft when you're ready.
The Giants are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
The old saying of "what have you done for me lately" could be used to explain his rapid rise in draft value. After a late season performance that saw him make several key blocks leading to scores, sources said that many scouts were willing to overlook otherwise average statistics leading up to his final game. NFL expert Ross Tucker felt that his upside far outweighs any concerns that he's a one-hit wonder. Tucker raved about his natural footwork that he called a quote-unquote gift for someone his size. Patience may be needed to help him grow into his full potential, but this team feels as if it has bolstered its offensive line with this big pick.
Broncos have just made Austin their newest player.
Well, there isn't much to say other than this kid was born to run. He's the spitting image of his father, a nationally ranked sprinter in several major events and highly recruited by every major college. However, unlike his dad, he chose to pursue a career in football, and so far that decision is paying off. He may not be gold medal fast, but he has the speed and quickness to cause fits for the opposing team. He's the type of player you like to see out in the open field where he can make moves a lot of other players can't. The coaches are going to love having his speed at their disposal.
Jaguars have just made Fletcher their newest player.
He's a ferocious defender whose speed makes him a nightmare for offenses when he blitzes. After setting the team record for sacks in a game, he soared up draft boards. Scouts I spoke with raved about his football IQ, feeling he could captain a defense in a matter of years. Sources tell me that aside from his fierce reputation to get to the quarterback, his true value is that he can impact a game mentally as well as physically. Opposing offensive coordinators will need to give great thought to assigning a back or tight end to stay at home and block him during pass plays. This eliminates an offensive weapon and shifts the balance of power to the defense. Not many linebackers in this league garner that type of attention, making him a special talent.
The Bears just picked up Carter. Adam, what do you have here?
No receiver put on a greater show at his pro day than he did. His former coach told me he purposefully had the quarterback throw the ball away from his body during passing drills. It forced him to react to the ball, extend for it, and make some spectacular catches. If he can make those same catches with NFL-caliber defenders covering him, he has the potential to be a dangerous weapon, and that's exactly what the team is hoping for.
The Panthers are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
He kicked off the offseason with one of the best all-star performances among defensive backs this year. How well did he play? As Matt Miller described, he simply took his matchup out of the play each and every time. The quarterbacks did their best avoiding him throughout the day, throwing to the other side of the field or the check down read. After he made such a big impression at the All-Star game, he backed up his play with a fantastic showing at the Combine and Pro Days. The team has to be grateful he was available at this point in the draft, and it didn't waste any time scooping him up.
Myers the choice. Adam, was it the right one?
He got the attention of scouts pretty quickly when he had a game-winning catch that most receivers would have trouble bringing in. With one outstretched hand, he caught a pass that looked like it was about to sail out of the back of the end zone. He proved that even the big guys can make some incredible plays with their hands. And in a league where receiving tight ends are becoming a premium, it's no wonder this team took him here.
The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Ravens are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam now, who's got more on the 49ers' latest pick.
After a string of injuries his junior year and what looked like more of the same his senior year, he made the decision to leave the team. It was a difficult choice to make, but after consulting with the trainers and coaches, it seemed like the best long-term option. His body needed more time to heal from past injuries, and opting out of his senior year helped him make a complete recovery in preparation for the draft. So even though there wasn't a lot of recent tape on him, he did put on a good show at the Combine, convincing scouts he hadn't lost a step. Some teams were concerned with his competitiveness after foregoing that final year of eligibility, but at least one team was confident enough to pick him up. Now we'll see if this team can keep him healthy and on the field.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Saints are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Panthers pick is in. Adam, did Cam Newton get some help?
Experts will debate the value of the IQ test at the combine each and every day after the fact, but the one thing a player doesn't want to do is turn in the worst score. And this year, it was him. He tested very poorly, and a lot of scouts are of the opinion that he shouldn't have tested at all in the first place. On the bright side, there is a real history of players excelling in the NFL who turned in low IQ scores. I'm sure the GM kept that in mind when making this selection.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
A fundamentally sound offensive lineman whose last collegiate season was ended prematurely by a nasty ankle injury, he's a guy who has the potential to become a centerpiece on the line for years to come. If there's one point of contention about him, it's that after talking to several of my sources, there's a significant worry about the strength of his surgically repaired right ankle. The original injury happened when the ankle appeared to buckle while he was not engaged, raising some serious questions about leg strength. He's been known as a bit of a power lifter with exceptional upper body strength, leading some strength coaches to openly question if this explosive lifting is putting additional stress on his leg joints. He looked good at the combine with excellent lateral movement pushing off the ankle in question. We probably won't know how well that ankle holds up until about a year from now after he's been through the rigors of an entire NFL season.
The Bears are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock.
everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Bears going up against the Vikings. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now Cook trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Time to feature the offensive starters and to give some love to the tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
He's been to the Pro Bowl already, battled a few injuries, but he's back and better than ever. Has added a little yoga to his regimen in order to make it more nimble. That makes it that much harder for the defenders to catch him.
On third down, Cousins. It's brought in by Jackson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Leonard Floyd's athleticism can be scary good, and one advantage he has now in the NFL is that he's finally at one position and one position only. When he's at the University of Georgia, he played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker, he played defensive end, almost depended on down and distance. Now strictly an outside linebacker with one key responsibility: go get the quarterback.
Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack from his outside linebacker spot. He gets him down here for a loss of 4. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Bears take over.
Check, Patriot! Over! Detroit!
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Shedding the tackle. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Flush to his right. And some space here. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Play action. Now Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long.
My dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. On is the punter King to send it away. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudens. They start the drive with Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That's a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Cousins to throw it. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. That goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Now Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
On first down, Trubisky. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
No, Jack, Patriot. Here we go now.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Flushed out right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Carter. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They needed 14. They got 15 here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Linval Joseph coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And no second-guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I know a coach told me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off the game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand.